Welcome to Talk About Topeka Live, coming to you from the Topeka Performing Arts Center. It's our Just Cause segment today, and we have the Family Service and Guidance Center highlighted because of Everything Topeka. They're the one bringing you this message. Everything Topeka is home of the Topeka newsletter, maintains the most comprehensive list of ways to enjoy our community. And my name is Chris Schultz, your expeditionaire into the world of Family Service and Guidance Center with Pam Evans. How are you, Pam?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Family Service and Guidance Center, let's give them the elevator speech about the organization here real quick, so that everyone knows what we're talking about.
Sure. So we are a community mental health center, the only one in the state that specializes in treating children. We know that it's hard raising kids because Lord knows there's no instruction manual, but I think in the same vein, it's really hard being a kid growing up these days. And unfortunately, kids struggle with a variety of different mental health issues like anxiety, depression, ADHD. And our organization has roughly 250 staff members that's what they do, day in and day out. For, it might be a second grade boy who has a really hard time sitting still in school, blurts out answers, and can never get assignments done. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it is a high school jazz band member that it also is an athlete, but for some reason can't bring himself to get out of bed because of the stress of school and tests and all of those types of things. Mm-hmm. Or the middle school girl who absolutely loves to go to dance class but suddenly starts withdrawing and starts harming herself and maybe even threatening suicide. Mm-hmm. So our organization treats last year over 4,800 kids in Northeast Kansas actively. Wow. Who are dealing with struggles, through a variety of different programs. I mentioned kind of the crisis and self-harm. We have crisis services 24/7. And mental health issues, they don't discriminate, We have an on-site preschool for little ones who have been asked to leave a preschool because of behavioral issues.
With 4,800, kids served.
Yes.
How has that number looked historically? Is it increasing? Is it kind of steady, or?
Right now it's remaining steady based off of those numbers of admissions, but we know the needs continue to be out there, and I think there's still that stigma of mental health issues. And it's hard for parents to pick up the phone and say, I don't know what else to do. Yeah. And that's something that it's a continual effort because, like I said, they don't come with the instruction manuals, and we have specially trained staff members that is their specialty. So that's the constant message because it's hard to know when to reach out, and that's.
And for a parent, again, not having that instruction manual, to have to take that first step, how many of them are in denial from the fact that there may be something wrong with their child, and if there was not this resource for them to be able to, not only help the child, but to help the parents be better parents for the children.
Absolutely, because it's 1 in 5 is the number of children that is estimated that will deal with a mental health issue or are currently doing that, and it's not a matter of socioeconomic level. We see from lower level socioeconomics to your neighbor, your friend, your family member. It's out there, and we just the earlier we can encourage parents to just reach out and even say, hey, can I come in and talk to a counselor, talk to a clinician to find out if this is normal, if should this be something we worry about, and if not, maybe we give the parents some tips. But if so, we have just so many services that we can wrap around them. We have an anxiety treatment program. We provide services in some of the 501 schools. Individual and group therapy. I mean, I could go on and on, but we don't have that long.
What do you think of technology as far as what it may have done? You know, as people are more and more, in my generation, it was one of those, we grew up with an analog world and then right on the cusp of the digital, so we kind of understood that and what that was like, but we have a grasp or a bearing of what it was like when we had to do things manually. And younger kids right now, this generation we're dealing with now, it's always been automated and digital for them. Has that affected mental health?
I would say I'm starting to see some research studies, and they're starting to come out. You know, in general, I think society is just more anxious. There's, you know, the 24/7 news cycle. Bullying. You know, when I was in school, I was bullied, but you know what? When I got on the bus, or actually when I got off the bus when I got home, it stopped. Now with, you know, the phones, social media, it doesn't stop. There are just so many challenges that, you know, that's why I personally, even though I work for Family Service and Guidance Center, I'm thankful that the resources right here in Topeka, that specialized resource for families, because like I say, the sooner that the kids can get the help and learn the coping mechanisms and get the parents the support and hope, because, you know, frankly, if your child, you're getting a phone call from school every day, please come pick up your child because they're out of control again. You feel hopeless as a parent. And they're not alone. I mean, 4,800 kids last year. And we reached another over 6,000 through outreach programs in our Happy Bear abuse prevention program. But it's a critical issue in the community, and the local school districts have been doing a really good job starting to address that, and we partner with them to address that. But the problem, it's big, and it's a monster to control. So we're there to support those families and support those kids.
And so how can the community support Family Service and Guidance Center for the missions that you're doing?
Sure. So of course, being a nonprofit, you know, there are always fundraising opportunities. We have a couple each year. One is our Works of Heart Gala. It's a dress-up affair. That typically happens mid-August. And then in the fall, typically the third Friday of October, we partner with Texas Roadhouse for a lunch. They open up on a Friday. And you know, that event in particular is a great opportunity for the public to come out, have a phenomenal meal, and support the organization. And the other thing I might mention too, I think mental health, you know, there's, like I said, because that stigma, people wonder what goes on in that three-building campus. We are now doing almost monthly lunches. We invite the public to come out for free. We provide them, you know, a simple box lunch, but to just kind of introduce them to the agency. And really, it's all about making sure people in the community know what's available to kids when a child might be threatening suicide, or if a child's experiencing extreme anxiety. So that's always, you know, those are great ways to support and learn more about the resource, about Family Service and Guidance Center in the community.
It's really easy sometimes for parents to say, oh, just shake it off and go do what you got to do. But, you know, these things that happen to these children in their formidable years really does affect who they become as an adult. And as a parent, there's a responsibility there to make sure that, you know, we're doing the best job we can for them.
Right. And it's hard to understand. If you haven't gone through something, a depression or anxiety, if you haven't experienced it or had a friend or close family member, it's really easy to say, I'll snap out of it.
Right.
But you wouldn't do that to someone who has diabetes or cancer.
Exactly.
And that support, you know, parents say all the time, oh my gosh, someone understands and you're giving me the help. That's just so critical.
It's got to be at least one of the rewarding parts of your job with Family Service and Guidance Center.
Absolutely.
And I thank you for all you do with that as well.
Yes.
So keep your eyes out for Family Service and Guidance Center. FSGCTopeka.com is the website. Like their Facebook page. And of course, give them a call if you think that maybe you need some help. They'll be happy to do that. And also, if you're just interested in finding out about what they're doing, get in on that lunch series that they have going and go do an Explorer series out there. Pam will get you taken care of to do it.
Absolutely.
And I thank you so much for coming out and telling us all about Family Service and Guidance Center today. And this was brought to you by EverythingTopeka.com, home of the Topeka newsletter, maintaining the most comprehensive list of ways to enjoy our community. Thank you so much, Pam, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you.
You bet.